Once upon a time, when leaders came and went, and everyone did what seemed right to them, the land fell into hard times. The food ran out. So a family from a small town called Bethlehem packed up everything they had and moved to another country, Moab, hoping to find a better life. The man's name was Elimelech. His wife was Naomi, and their two sons were Mahlon and Chilion. When they got to Moab, they settled in. But before long, Elimelech died, and Naomi was left with her two sons. The sons grew up and married women from that land. One was named Orpah, the other Ruth. For 10 years they lived there together. Then both Mahlon and Chilion died, and Naomi was left alone. No husband, no sons, only loss. One day, Naomi heard that back home, God had blessed her people again. There was food in Bethlehem. So she decided to go back. Her daughters-in-law, Ruth and Orpah, went with her as far as the road out of town. Naomi turned to them and said, "Go back, my dear ones. You've been so kind to me and to those we've lost. May God bless you both with new homes and new joy." She hugged them, kissed them, and they all cried together. But both young women said, "No, we'll go with you to your people." Naomi shook her head. "Why, my daughters? You have no reason to follow me. I can't give you new husbands. I'm too old to start again. Even if I could, would you wait all those years? No, my dears, it breaks my heart for you, but life has turned hard against me. Go live your lives." They wept again. Orpah kissed Naomi goodbye and went back home, but Ruth just held on tighter. Naomi said, "Look, your sister-in-law is going back to her people and her gods. You should go with her." But Ruth said, "Please don't ask me to leave you or turn back. Where you go, I'll go. Where you stay, I'll stay. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God. Where you die, I'll die, and there I'll be buried. May God deal with me severely if anything but death separates us." Naomi saw that Ruth was determined, so she said no more. And together they walked the long road back to Bethlehem. When they arrived, the whole town buzzed with whispers. "Is this Naomi? Can it really be her?" Naomi said, "Don't call me Naomi, which means pleasant. Call me Mara, which means bitter. For the Almighty has made my life very bitter. I left full, and I've come back empty. The Lord has turned against me." So Naomi returned home, and Ruth, the outsider, the Moabite, came with her. They arrived in Bethlehem just as the barley harvest was beginning. And that's where a new chapter of their story, everybody's story, was about to begin. Chapter 2. The Story of Everybody. Ruth, Naomi, and the Field of Kindness. Now Naomi and Ruth were back in Bethlehem. Two women, one older and tired from loss, one younger and brave but new to everything. They didn't have much except each other. Naomi had a relative on her late husband's side, a good man, respected in the community, and well off. His name was Boaz. One morning, Ruth said to Naomi, "Let me go out to the fields and pick up the leftover grain behind whomever will be kind enough to let me." Naomi said, "Go ahead, my daughter." So Ruth went out and began gathering grain behind the harvesters. As it happened, though maybe it wasn't chance at all, she ended up in a field that belonged to Boaz, that relative of Naomi's husband. Later that morning, Boaz came from Bethlehem to check on his workers. He greeted them, "The Lord be with you." And they answered, "The Lord bless you." Then Boaz noticed the young woman working at the edge of the field and asked his foreman, "Who is that?" The foreman said, "She's the Moabite woman who came back with Naomi. She asked if she could gather the leftover grain behind the harvesters. She's been working hard since morning, only taking a short rest." Boaz went over to Ruth and said kindly, "Listen, my daughter, don't go to any other field. Stay here and work alongside my women. I've told the men not to bother you. When you're thirsty, help yourself to the water jars the workers filled." Ruth bowed low and said, "Why are you so kind to me? I'm a foreigner." Boaz said, "I've heard all about you, how you left your home and family to come with Naomi to a place you didn't know. May the Lord reward you for what you've done. May you be richly blessed by the God of Israel, under whose wings you've come for refuge." Ruth said softly, "You've comforted me and spoken kindly to me, even though I'm not one of your servants." When lunchtime came, Boaz invited her to join the workers. "Come, have some bread, dip it in the sauce." She sat with them and ate until she was full, and even saved some to take home. When she went back to work, Boaz told his men, "Let her gather even among the bundles, and don't stop her. In fact, pull out some stalks on purpose and leave them for her." So Ruth gathered in the field until evening. Then she beat out what she had collected. It was nearly a whole basket of barley. She carried it home to Naomi, showed her the grain, and gave her the leftovers from lunch. Naomi asked, "Where did you gather today? Who treated you so kindly?" Ruth said, "The man's name is Boaz." Naomi's eyes lit up. "May he be blessed by the Lord. That man is one of our close relatives, one of our family's protectors." Ruth added, "He even told me to stay close to his workers until the harvest is done." Naomi said, "That's good, my daughter. Stay with his women. You'll be safe there." So Ruth stayed close to Boaz's workers through the barley and wheat harvests, working hard every day. And through it all, she and Naomi lived together, waiting to see what God might do next. Chapter 3. The Story of Everybody. Ruth, Naomi, and the Midnight Meetings. One evening, after the harvest season had nearly finished, Naomi said to Ruth, "My daughter, it's time I help you find a home, a place where you'll be cared for. You've been faithful and kind. Now it's time for your own rest. Listen, Boaz, whose field you've been working in, is one of our family protectors.
Tonight, he'll be at the threshing floor, working late, separating the grain from the husks. Here's what I want you to do. Take a good bath, put on perfume, dress in your best clothes, then go down to the threshing floor. But don't let him see you until he's done eating and drinking. When he lies down to sleep, notice where he lies. Then go, uncover his feet, and lie down. He'll tell you what to do next." Ruth said, "I'll do everything you've said." So that night, Ruth went quietly to the threshing floor. She watched from the shadows as Boaz finished his work, ate his meal, and lay down beside the grain pile. When he was asleep, she crept over softly, uncovered his feet, and lay there. Around midnight, Boaz awoke suddenly, startled to find someone lying at his feet. He said, "Who are you?" he whispered. She answered, "I am Ruth, your servant. Spread your cloak over me, for you are a family protector." Boaz said, "The Lord bless you, my daughter. You've shown even greater kindness now than before, not chasing after younger men, rich or poor. Don't be afraid. I'll do all you ask. Everyone in town knows you are a woman of noble character. It's true, I am one of your family protectors, but there's another man who's a closer relative than I am. If he wants to redeem you, let him. But if not, I swear by the Lord I will." Then he said gently, "Stay here until morning." So Ruth lay at his feet until dawn, before anyone could see her. Boaz said, "No one must know a woman came to the threshing floor." Then he gave her a gift, 6 large scoops of barley, and helped her wrap it in her shawl. He said, "Don't go back to your mother-in-law empty-handed." When Ruth got home, Naomi asked, "How did it go, my daughter?" Ruth told her everything that had happened. She showed her the grain and said, "He gave me this, saying, 'You mustn't go home empty-handed.'" Naomi smiled and said, "Wait, my daughter. Be patient. The man will not rest until he's settled the matter today."
Chapter 4. The Story of Everybody. Ruth, Boaz, and the New Beginning. Early the next morning, Boaz went straight to the town gate, the place where all important matters were settled. There, he saw the other family protector, the man Naomi had spoken of, and called out, "Come, sit down here, my friend." Then Boaz gathered 10 of the town elders and said, "Sit with us. We need witnesses." When they were all seated, Boaz said to the man, "Naomi, who came back from Moab, is selling the land that belonged to our relative Elimelech. You are the closest family protector. If you want to redeem it, do so now. But if not, tell me, because after you, I am next in line." The man said, "I'll redeem it." Boaz replied, "On the day you buy the land from Naomi, you also acquire Ruth the Moabite, the widow of the dead man, in order to maintain the name of the deceased with his property." The man paused and said, "Then I can't redeem it. It might endanger my own estate. You redeem it instead." In those days, people confirmed agreements by taking off a sandal and handing it to the other person. So the man took off his sandal and said, "Buy it yourself." Then Boaz stood and declared before everyone, "You are witnesses today that I have bought all that belonged to Elimelech, Mahlon, and Chilion from Naomi. I also take Ruth the Moabite, the widow of Mahlon, to be my wife, so that the name of the dead may not disappear from among his family or from his hometown. You are all witnesses today." And the elders and townspeople said, "We are witnesses. May the Lord bless this woman who is coming into your home. May she be like Rachel and Leah, who together built up the house of Israel. May you prosper in Bethlehem, and may your family line be famous in Israel." So Boaz married Ruth, and she became his wife. The Lord blessed their union, and soon Ruth gave birth to a son. The women of the town said to Naomi, "Praise be to the Lord, who has not left you without a family redeemer today. May this child restore your life and care for you in your old age. For your daughter-in-law loves you and is better to you than 7 sons." Naomi took the baby in her arms, held him close, and cared for him as if he were her own. The neighborhood women said, "Naomi has a son," and they named him Obed. Obed grew up to be the father of Jesse, the father of David, the shepherd boy who would one day become king. And so, the story that began with hunger, loss, and grief ended in hope, love, and a new beginning. A family was restored, a people were blessed, and from Ruth, the outsider who stayed, who loved, who believed, came the line of kings and the promise of redemption for everybody.